Hop on the solar coaster, come along for the ride, yeah. Solar coaster's rolling, it feels so right. Hop on the solar coaster, come along for the ride.
Aloha, my name is Anna Covert, and this is the Solar Coaster, the wild ride through the solar industry told by the people who are living it every day. In the hot seat with me today is Vladimir from Wolf River Electric. Vlad, let's start this off. When did the sun first shine on your solar path?
I would say it was roughly 5 to 6 years ago when we realized we could do more for our customers. So Wolf River Electric originally got started in 2014, so just over 10 years ago. Primarily focusing on energy savings, started out with electrical work and mainly upgrading customers to more efficient solutions, primarily was lighting. And then down our pathway, we discovered that we could completely eliminate utility bills with solar. And that's what started the solar coaster for us.
So what would you say, every ride has its drops. What was your sharpest down and how did you bounce back?
There has been so many, but it is constant innovation and adaptation for us. I would say just recently we've had skyrocketing interest rates, cost of borrowing went up, and as we know, most of the solar systems are financed one way or another. And when the cost of capital gets more expensive, it eats into the savings and delays the ROI for the systems. So for us, it was just managing the expectations for customers and kind of increasing those conversations and being able to show the value even beyond year one, so into year 6 and 7.
And I think that really is, what I hope, and so I've read about it in my book, that, there's really people I know that were very worried about this tax credit, but I'm not as worried as others. And I think that there's a convergence happening. The price of equipment is coming down, utility rates are going up, and this concept of the solar bro, which we both, are passionately against, like they're not going to be able to gouge customers in the same way. What do you thought? What are your thoughts?
Yeah, I think it's the efficient economy, right? The market will always adapt. We've seen that with the tax credit moving up from 26 to 30%. I wouldn't necessarily say that our customers realized bigger savings. I would say most of that got gobbled up by the manufacturers and the loan providers.
Yeah.
With the interest rates, dealer fees, cost of equipment, cost of borrowing.
And so maybe, I think it was also kind of not that I was happy that the tax credit was ending, but it seemed like, it was a good time so that we could get this extra boost to the industry at the end of the year. But it was kind of a little bit slow start, slower than normal.
Yeah, I would say we were just reflecting on that not so long ago. And I would agree, if this would have happened to the industry 4 or 5 years ago, I think we would be in a tougher situation. But you're right. I mean, we see Europe, Australia installing solar for $1, $1.50 a watt. And US is currently $3, $4, primarily because of our inefficiencies and just mainly inefficiencies.
Well, I think the one really inspiring thing about you guys in particular is how much you innovate constantly. So tell us a little bit about, when did you decide to make this call center? And because it's a pretty big effort.
Yeah, so I would say we started out with digital leads primarily until we realized that, again, the cost of acquiring the customer was just skyrocketing, partially driven by, obviously, the social media platforms constantly adapting. And, if there is somebody willing to pay $2,000 to acquire the customer, they'll charge you exactly that.
Yeah.
So we kind of understood that concept coupled with the cost of borrowing and just decreasing conversion rates. We knew that we had to do something, and Midwest is not great for door knocking. Our neighborhoods are spread out, so it's really hard to walk them, especially in the winter. If it gets cold, so you can't really do that. So we thought the call center would be great, and we knew other companies were doing that. SunPower, notably, they had great success generating leads through their outsourced call center mainly. So kind of adopted and improved that model. And
so it's kind of like once SunPower went under and we didn't have those leads, that's when you decided to take all the effort your own.
Yeah, I would say we had a call center even before they went under. But hats off to them. They did have some of the best appointments.
Sure did.
And I think that was because of the call center, because they really vetted them and actually had that human interaction, knew that the homeowner is interested. It's also the homeowners that are generally not solicited, right? Because generally an older population or professionals, right? If you're a doctor or a lawyer, you're most likely to actually pick up your phone because you don't know who might be calling you. So it's a lot of like professionals that are also.
Well, I never thought of it that way.
Yeah.
So what you're here to show, what are you looking for? Is there anything in particular, any technologies you're excited about coming down the line?
Yeah, I think, obviously we're looking to collaborate with other folks in the industry and see how everybody's adapting and what strategies we can deploy ourselves to be more efficient and effective. Yeah, I would say that primarily, just collaborating with folks. As far as technology, I mean, excited about many different battery options out there. I think, yeah, there's a lot.
I stopped by do you see EcoFlow?
Yeah, yes.
Oh, so I stopped by EcoFlow and I was so excited about their AI, and being able to, well, my favorite part, they're doing a little test for me there. And it's like, how would you want to save money next week in your electric bill? I'm like, of course,
Yeah.
And it would show you that, maybe you have to wear your shirt twice. You can't do it. You must laundry. Whatever it would be.
Well, and just recommending different grid profiles and utility rate profiles that you could, kind of really narrow down your savings and run different plans. So
That's what has to happen because, I have a span and I love it. But then, and then when there's a hurricane coming or I'm using the span to try to, not dispatch to the utility because I have the Tesla Powerwalls and I get, I'm on a certain program in Hawaii that I got paid for this standard dispatch. But when there's like a storm threat, I'm like, oh, I don't want to give the state anything during this, So, but then you forget how to do it. Even me, and then you don't remember, and it can change so quickly with these rate plans and time of use plans. I think that really is the future.
Yeah. No, I would agree. It's when you say that I have exactly the same setup with span and Tesla Powerwalls. But I think the drawback is that it's not in one software. So EcoFlow is really improving on that with having it all in one, where you can understand the battery usage, what solar is doing, and integrate the AI to recommend other things. I think that's definitely is the future.
Yeah. So some of the other, I think, interesting things you're doing is, construction. Tell me about building integrated design. Is that something that you think has a big future? I mean, it was kind of hyping, but now I'm not sure. You're seeing it behind a stall. What are your thoughts on that?
Yeah, I would say it's a life cycle of each individual customer, right? Once we have that relationship, whether it starts with the EV charger or solar system, they're more likely to work with us again because we have that trust in that relationship. So it's really great when we get phone calls to replace somebody's roof and we have to remove solar, help them with the roofing project, or just add the batteries. And I think we see that even more right now with the tax credit going away. Like all of our existing customers that may only have an EV charger or only the solar system, they're all calling us and they want to add batteries and other things and do that before the tax credit is gone. So we really see the effect of that kind of really magnifying with the
Yeah, I think you're right. And I have a lot of clients also who are just kind of, they call S the dirty word, right? And when they say solar in Florida, it's hard to get in the home. If people are like, oh no, we don't want to talk to any solar people. But if you come in with an energy efficiency, it's just heat attic, solar attic, whatever they do in the attic. I'm not even sure what they do with the attic, but I know there's an attic involved. Or windows or any of those different energy efficiencies, it naturally leads to this solar story. And, you're in a unique area, the Midwest. Like, what is that? Is there any trends happening there? People, turned off by solar? You think, like, is that why siding or roofing or hail is another easy entry point?
Yeah, absolutely. I think like it's an auxiliary business for us and customer acquisition. Like one of the headwinds that we see continue to be present for next several years is customer acquisition, right? So while we have that relationship with the customers already, we want to build on what we offer to be able to keep and maintain those relationships so our customers don't have to work with somebody else and then figure out how everything would work together and talk to different representatives. So we want to be there for our customers, but it also helps us to be more efficient and more lean, especially on the customer acquisition side. So we've truly cherished and value that. But yeah, any other auxiliary services that we can offer to potentially eventually lead into solar. You mentioned solar has a bad name in several markets. And I think that's true for Midwest too, but I think it's important that we keep the industry integrity and continue to deliver good service and good experience for our customers, because those that do understand it and get exactly what they were, promised, they'll refer a friend.
They love solar.
Yeah,
I mean,
they
you
love
can,
solar.
and you can never sell someone too much solar.
Yeah.
It's only too little solar. Like I've never heard, like, oh, you sold me too much solar. You know, no, no, no.
Exactly. And as soon as they have great experience, I mean, they will recommend you, and it's nothing really changes between those that have a good experience and those that have bad experience, except the fact that they were misled, right? And
Right,
that sour taste in their mouths, you know. So
That's right. I love opening my utility bill because I had negative.
Yeah.
You know, like in Hawaii, it's high, and he go, it's like negative $300 or whatever. I'm like, oh, good. You know.
yeah. No, I often share my utility bill with prospective customers or even, our Salesforce team. I send out my utility bill almost weekly. So yeah, I love it.
Yeah. So what do you think? There's lots of interesting things. I think barndominiums are really interesting that I learned from Wolf River. Tell us what is a barndominium for those who are listening and don't know what it is, and why is it making such a comeback, or why is it so trendy?
Yeah, I think barnaminium is just a really popular new home type that looks almost like a barn. It's really cool, but it's very simple, where you can have a big concrete slab, you have plenty of space to park all of your toys, your side-by-side and other things, and Midwesterns love that. Everybody has a boat and pontoon for summer and side-by-side or something, so you can park it all inside. But then you also have a living quarters. They're also attached, so it's really cool. And it's just an alternative way of building, I guess. It's oftentimes on par with building a home, or even cheaper, because it's just such a simple concept. Yeah,
It's not like an ADU. Like it's not. No, it's so big.
yeah, with permanent foundation, permanent structure. It's really great. Yeah,
That's really cool.
it's fun. Yeah, it's fun to have one. It's kind of a man's dream.
Yeah, that's like the ultimate man cave.
Yeah, exactly.
Right.
Exactly. It's just magnified. Yeah.
That's cool.
Yeah.
So what do you what do you see yourself in the next 5 years?
I think we'll see a slower start to 2026, but I mean, we've seen that solar industry is resilient. I think we'll see that continue to be. And I think the market will just become more efficient,
Yeah.
Obviously we'll see more leases and TPOs overall in the solar industry. But I think that will be it to an extent, just because, I mean, there's so many intricate details and so many more parties involved, and everybody has to make a margin, right, to operate and be sustainable. We'll see the degradation of that 30% tax rate if it's a lease of third-party ownership. So I think the cash and loans will eventually bounce back. That's our prediction, and I think the industry is just going to be more efficient and effective. Yeah. So,
Absolutely, agreed.
yeah.
Well, thanks so much for joining me today. And to learn more about Wolf River Electric, you can visit them online, like all the social profiles. And I will see you next week as they interview another industry expert in a topic to help you survive the thrill of the ride. You can get a copy of the book at thesolarcoasterbip.com. It'll be available nationwide soon. And I'll see you in the pixels. Aloha.
Hop on the solar coaster, come along for the ride, yeah. Where sunshine meets stories and bright futures collide. We're sparking up ideas with laughter and light. The solar